Hello lovely people, how are you all doing today? Just going to change into my welly boots. Oh, it's cold. It really is a bit of a chilly one today. I don't think it's much above freezing out there. 2 pairs of socks in my wellies. But it's a little, sorry, getting wellies on. It's a little tiny bit brighter today. We've been under this blanket of thick grey cloud for, it just seems like forever. But yeah, a bit brighter today. Actually, in that last video when I went up my little high street, I was looking back at the footage and it looks like we're in a right pea soup, a bit of a smog. It was just really foggy that day. Real thick fog in the morning. So, excuse me, I'm nearly there. Stop fidgeting. Yeah, really thick fog in the morning. And it's the kind of fog that as soon as I woke up I knew that we had some weather, either fog or snow, because it changes the light. Cleared in the day and then came back in the evening. Anyway, yay for a bit of brightness. And one of the reasons I really wanted to get down here today, despite how chilly it is, I'm going to change my fingerless gloves for gardening gloves in a second because I want some glovage on my fingers too. One of the reasons I wanted to get down here today, apart from the fact that there's loads of work to do, apart from the fact that I love it here and want to be here, today is the day after the winter solstice. So the winter solstice was yesterday. What date does that make it? 22nd today, 22nd of December. Yeah, and this day every year always feels a little bit special to me because it's the first day of our days, our daylight hours lengthening. It's not the first day of temperatures climbing. That won't happen until generally it's sort of towards the end of March. We have had snow in February and March before now. Last frost date won't be until into May, but there's just this sense today that we're on the other side of the darkness now, and now we're going back into the light. I can start to picture summer. Well, it's a bit hard to picture summer today. And it's around about now that I start to really think about the garden for next year. So planning, where are things going, what seeds have I got, what seeds do I need, but I'll be doing all of that in the new year. The main thing is I wanted to get here today to just embrace this first day of heading towards summer. Oh, can you see my breath? It's like, summer? What are you talking about, crazy cat lady? So, a bit of tidying today. I'm going to see if I can get a couple of parsnips out. But I just messaged Paul this morning because he's been having parsnips out and they're whoppers. They're beautiful. They're perfectly straight, gorgeous specimens. And I don't think mine are going to be anything like that. In fairness, he's got his in a raised bed that's full of lovely, fluffy, spent compost. Mine are in concrete clay soil. Anyway, let's see what's going on with the parsnips. But the first thing I'm going to do, and I want to do it now so that I don't forget it later, is, you remember when I was saying how I'd gone to the high street to get pictures of all the lights and I kept stopping and bumping into friends. So I bumped into Catherine, a really lovely friend of mine, and she's got, her plot is sort of on the other side of the path from mine. She cannot get to the plot at the moment. She's got stuff going on. She can't get down here. And I was mentioning I was talking about how Paul's broad beans had been destroyed by the mice. Obviously mine were completely wiped out 2 winters ago by the mice. So it's this winter and last winter that I've been trying with the chili powder, and so far so good. And she suddenly said, oh, what about mine? Oh, I hope mine are still there. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to check on her plot for her, make a note of everything so that I can report back to her, because I know what it's like. I know what it's like when you can't be here and you're worrying about your little plant babies. So come on, let's go and see if Catherine's broad beans are okay. I hope they're okay. I asked you all to keep your fingers crossed a few days ago for mine, and they were great, so thank you. Let's all keep our fingers crossed right now for Catherine's. Come on, let's go and have a nosy. Oh, I hope I don't shake the camera from being chilly. Okay, so this is our Catherine's plot, and I was asking, right, where are the broad beans? So I think from her directions, rather than going down through the middle of the plot, her compost bins, I'll come around the side. She's got some fruit bushes here. This is where she had that massive patch. There's a little, you see there's a pond in there. This is where all the crocosmia, you can see masses of it from this year. This is the divisions from here that she gave me, which started to come up this year, but I think next year they'll hopefully really come up. Right, she said it's 2 rows in from her apple trees. It's all looking very tidy, considering she can't get here. This is her fantastic brassica tunnel. This is actually a wedding present. What a great wedding present. How are her sprouts doing? Oh, I can see little ones forming. Maybe if I get some pictures of them, I can send them to her. Can you see through the mesh? We just about see through there. Yes, there are sprouts in there, Catherine. And lovely sprout tops. This is such a great tunnel, isn't it? And it's sort of mesh on, it's all sort of built in wire hoops, but then there are these sections around it, zip sections, so it's like a little doorway you can climb through to do either your harvesting or your weeding. So you don't have to, you're not sort of taking nets off hoops all the time. Brilliant. And then just tied with a couple of guy ropes. And actually, you know what? We've had some battering winds and it's stood up to the test, hasn't it? I don't think it was cheap. But you know what? You get what you pay for, don't you? And I think if you're going to buy something like this, you know, invest as much as you possibly can. I think that's generally the rule, isn't it? Is spend as much as you can to get the best you can. Morning, little Rosie. How are you, sweet pea? How are you doing, sweetie? We'll have cuddles in a minute, lovely. Let's just go and check on. Right. She said, oh, I see. So she said it's 2 beds back from her apple trees. I love how she's espaliered her apple trees so that we've got a height restriction on our plot of 6 feet. But by laying them on their sides, you almost get sort of 7-8 foot worth of tree in the 6 foot space. These are an absolute beautiful sight in the spring when they're covered in blossom. Okay, so 1 bed back. Ah, is that her garlic? Let's have a check on. Yeah, that's her garlic. Is it garlic? It must be. I think so. That's all looking good. A little bit intermittent. Some more this end. This all looks a little bit... These garlic are being tardy. There is one in there. They all look great. And then... Is that shallots she's got on the end or onions? Ah, no, I think they're shallots, because with shallots you tend to get like loads more sort of leaves coming up. Good, good, good. That's all fine. Just obviously all this metal mesh to stop them being scratched up. Now, just tucked in here. Yay! Oh, happy days, Catherine. Let me just come around this side. Her broad beans are in one piece. Well, there's a gap there, and then at that end, a couple of gaps. But that could be germination issues rather than mice issues, because you'd think if there were mice issues, there'd be loads of them done in and gone. But it's all... Yes, Rosie, I'm coming. Oh, I'm delighted. I'm delighted that I can report back to her that at least half her garlic is looking good. It's up. Broad beans are okay. Brassicas are all looking fine, and she's definitely going to have some sprouts. Not necessarily for Christmas if she can't get here, but certainly into the new year. Brilliant. Oh, I'm glad about that. I'm glad I can report good stuff back to her. What's in there? I think is this her leeks? Yeah, leeks in there. She can have a few of those out too. Oh, it's a bit quiet today, isn't it? You know what, it's one of the reasons I love coming to the plot in winter is the quietness. I mean, I love company, you know that, but it's also nice sometimes to have the whole site to myself. I've seen one other person down here. This is all her. This is sort of a mix of flowers, and she lets them just do their own thing every year, and they do marvellously. Right, okay, time to get on with the work in my garden. So I was just saying that there's one other couple down here. They've just made their way out. They came to get their Christmas veggies. So they've dug up some parsnips. Oh my goodness, I'm going to feel so inadequate this year. They've just shown me one. It's a stonker. I mean, it was huge. They've got a big bag full of parsnips. Anyway, I've just seen a weed. So I was going to start with a different job. I can't wait any longer. I'm going to start in the parsnips, and I hold out almost zero hopes for them. A lot of them were thinnings that I transplanted. I don't have ideal soil for them because it is quite heavy and compact. Oh, and just to say, in terms of getting them out, I've got my fork. I'm going to bring you in. Steve, aka Digwell Green Fingers, he uses a kind of a push-pull technique where he pushes carrots, parsnips, same difference, pushes them in a bit, and that sort of breaks off any of the little hairy roots, but also creates a bit more space to then pull it out of. I've tried that technique a few times in my garden. It does not work on concrete. Anyway, shall we see what lies beneath? Let's have a look. Don't hold your breath, anyone. Oh, I can see where the foliage is trying. So this was, I think, a black cat, I don't know. I think these two were growing from where I actually seeded, and the others around it were all the transplants. So, in hope rather than expectation, well, I can see something. Is it going to be all fur coat and no knickers? That's not too bad. Ooh, that's not too bad at all. Can I see any canker on it? Not at first glance. That'll do. So that was a grown in situ. This is a transplant. Oh my goodness, I can't believe the transplant actually worked. You know what I want to do now? I want to dig the whole blimmin' lot up. It's always the way with anything I grow in the garden that's below the soil. I should be R-ing, shouldn't I, for my treasure? Oh, that's a little R for Reuben. Okay, so, right. This was also a transplant. Obviously didn't come to anything. Oh! Let's give him a bit of a... Do you know what? I'm not going to complain. But I am going to stop here. They don't need to all come out today. So let's have a little look. one of the thinnings that I transplanted. But you know what? Them taste gorgeous. And then I think the two smaller ones, that and that on the outsides, they were also thinnings. They were the ones that had stayed in their direct sown positions. You know what? I am really, really happy with those. Yay! No, see, what's going to happen now is I want to go home and cook and not do the gardening. I should have started with the gardening first, shouldn't I? Right, let's go and pop these in the shed and get on with other jobs. Snail nest. Oh, that's full of snails. I'll clean them in a second. Stones. And that's my tidy up and this bed's done. Ready to start doing some digging and some covering and some not digging.
done. Well done.
Hello, sweetheart. How are you?
Okay?
Oh, no, yeah. Our Gary's just turned up, so I'm going to stop and have a chat.
You're filming, I'm sorry.
It's obviously parsnip digging day today, because our Gary's down. He's going to have a couple of his parsnips out too, so I thought we'll come over to his plot and see how his are doing too. I'll just show you where they are. Gary's just getting his fork. Oh, sorry, bring you round. So this is his row. He's had a few out already, and he said they're a bit rubbish this year. Oh, look at the size of that one's shoulders. God, that's a stonker. We were just saying actually how we've both over the years done everything for our parsnips, everything possible, you know. Loosen up the soil, add, I was going to say salt, not salt, add sand, So he's got quite a bit of, he's got more foliage left than I had. Yeah, we've tried all sorts over the years, and you know, some years they're just utterly rubbish. And then you'll have a freak year where they're great. There's no rhyme or reason to it, it seems. Oh, look at his garlic. Lovely tunnels of garlic. 2 rows there, a row here. And then this row, I've just decided to come up right. Here's one man. Are we excited?
No. Well, excited.
I was just getting mine out and I said it's definitely a case of hope over expectation. Are you going to go for that big Bertha?
I'm going to go for the big one. London clay. Parsnips, I've been here 35 years. I should know how to do it. This is
I was just saying though that...
However dispirited you are, look at this and you'll be okay. Oh. Canker.
No, look, it's massive.
It's not canker,
Oh yeah,
it's
but
canker.
you can scrub that off.
Yeah, it's not good.
But look at the size of it.
I don't know what...
Oh,
they're not too bad.
Gary, these are all right. What are you talking about?
Well, I've dug to here, and there's nothing. They've been awful. They've been like a club foot with bits hanging off it.
Yeah.
Now, and at least they're parsnip looking.
More like a turnip with lots of legs.
And the salty fish.
Oh, they're all right.
Salty fish, can try that.
Do you know what? What do you say? Oh, it's salsify, whatever it's called.
No,
I've never had it.
Probably pronounced it wrongly, but over the years I've done
with
it.
a little mullion next to it.
So that's your root.
So
They're nice. I tell you what, salsify's nice in,
so it's like
and that's in.
it's like it's a carrot parsnip look-alike.
It's meant to taste like oysters. I don't think that at all. It is good in mixed veg if you bake mixed veg.
Right.
Put it in with a bit of
like roast them all.
bit of turnip. There's
yeah.
a turnip here. This is a bed that does mixed toast. So a bit of beetroot. They've all gone now. But see, I've got some very late turnips in there.
Oh, they look grand.
And if you put them in, if you put them together.
This is a nice bed, isn't it? This is you kind of grab them out and chop them up a bit, whack them in a roasting tin.
This is the back end of the season now. This is just getting stuff out in the wrong end of the season. But it's been quite good. The beetroot have been good.
Yeah, but I've got to say, just another look at these snips. Now,
You see the canker in there?
this is what we call canker. It does get in there, but I mean that's so massive that you can cut it off, scrape it off, whatever. There's enough sort of meat on that root, as it were, that the canker shouldn't be an issue. You just scrape it off, and you'll still have plenty under there to eat. So,
We sometimes cut the top right off.
are we going to say it's an all right parsnip year?
No. They've got canker and they're not that good, but they're okay. For London clay,
Listen, it's a feed.
it is, yeah.
It's a feed.
Good. The thing is, it tastes lovely. The whole point is it tastes
Exactly,
nice.
and we'll enjoy them on Christmas Day, won't
And
we?
I've enjoyed watering it all summer, up and down, day after day. It's really worth it, you know. Free
my goodness.
parsnips for 16 hours of work.
I know. Listen, if we started to count the hours we've put in, we would never do it. We do.
Just had my hair cut and it's cold as well. So it's really uncomfortable.
I thought you'd had your ears lowered. All right, well, listen, Gary, thank you so much for letting us
You're
come
very
over and
welcome.
have a nose at your plot. If I don't see you before Christmas Day,
And you, have a
I shall
lovely
wish you a very happy Christmas, you and Anna both.
Well, I will see you because we're meeting the high street, I'm sure.
I can't go on the high street without bumping into this man.
I'm omnipresent.
All right, lovely. I will see you again soon, but in the meantime, happy Christmas to you.
Take care. Bye.
Oh, what a happy sight. Not just parsnips, but, oh my goodness, look what Gary just gave me. He just literally pulled out this bunch of, it's autumn king carrots, so that's the salsify. You saw him pulling up, he's given me a couple to try. Yay! My first carrot's in. Oh, months and months and months and months. Right, it's getting really cold. I'm going to pop back in the shed. But also, I just wanted to point out, which one is it? This one. It's quite long. Look at the length of that. I can't believe all of that root came out. So of course I'm going to measure it. I have my tape measure here. I keep a tape measure in the shed. Right, let's give it a measure. And just quickly jump back in the shed for a minute. Oh my goodness, I've gotten cold. Today is not, it's just like not what I was expecting, and it's just been delightful. So I was in the brassicas, and then Gary arrived, and we got chatting, and then I ended up going to his pot, which you've seen now, and just brought the carrots and stuff back to my table. Oh, and I measured that long parsnip. It's 34 inches, which is nearly a yard long, or in metric 88 centimetres. It's like, that's crazy. So I thought, I've got to go and show it to Gary. So I went back to his, and then our lovely Kay has turned up. It's her sort of lunch break, and she has a bit of a walk in the allotment and brings her cats out for walks. They follow her like puppies. It's so cute. So we've all just had a chat too. Anyway, the bottom line is, it's so lovely to see folk, but standing around, it's not the weather for standing around. I am freezing. And also, so I want to get home, but also because now I've got these parsnips and carrots, I just want to get home and get into the kitchen and get cooking. Can't wait. So, the stuff with the brassicas I will do next visit, and I'll explain what I'm doing. I mean, I've picked up all the pebbles and bottles and all that stuff. That's to clear those beds so that I can get them covered and what have you. That can be next time. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen next time. And days like today, I don't care, because it's just so lovely to be out. It's fresh. I was going to say it's bright. It's not that bright, but it's brighter than it has been. A bit of a harvest. I'm chuffed that my parsnips are okay. So far, so good. Yeah. Happy, happy days. It really is the littlest things in life, isn't it, that are the most rewarding. Your own veggies out of your garden, and friends. It's kind of all I need in life, is veggies and friends. Right, on that note, I need to go home. I'm going to say cheerio to you all. I think probably the next time I see you all will be maybe Christmas Day. I hope so. Whenever, please look after yourselves, look after each other, stay well, stay warm. Until the next time, cheerio.